Welcome everyone to another episode of Confronting Our Thoughts. A long time coming. We've definitely been MIA, all three of us, from this podcast, but I'm not gonna lie, I miss you boys. I miss doing this, and we came on here, just hit the record button. So we're gonna start with just catching up with one another. Luke, I feel like you've come to a potential end chapter of your life a little bit this semester, right?
Guess so, yeah. First semester back from deployment was dude, I'm worn out. If I feel like I went to the trenches. You good? You
Yep.
good?
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, you're good.
Let's turn off the light.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. I feel like someone just dragged me through the mud.
Well,
Where
I got a quick question, Luke. Sorry, I'm going to cut you off. You texted the group chat and you said, "Hey, fellas, I didn't sleep last night, so just let me know when we're recording and call my phone enough so I wake up." And can you just explain to us as well as the viewers what happened that you didn't sleep, or is it? It's so yeah. Go on.
we went to my buddy's graduation party and yeah, so we were just kind of chilling, had some beers, and then I texted my dad. Well, I called him the other day and he said he wanted to go on a little hunt. So I was just like, okay, I'll go spend some time with him. So he was like, yeah, we're gonna meet up at like 5 in the morning. I was just like,
That's
so I
awesome.
was like, well, I guess I'm not gonna sleep. And then around like 9 this morning, my boss texted me. He's like, hey man, I want to come in. Oh, well, I need you to come in and do some stuff for me. So I was just like, well, I guess I'm not fucking sleeping today. So yeah, so I went to work till like 3. So I was up for like 36 plus hours and I was just exhausted. So yeah, that's why I texted you guys that.
Yeah, we'll get into a little bit why tonight had to be the night that we record. So I apologize, Luke, but I'm still pumped to see you, even though you're going strong right now. But you took a nap, right? Solid nap,
Yeah, 4 hours, but I'm definitely
4 hours.
sleeping. I'm definitely sleeping for a while tonight. Like my eyes are like still glossy. I probably got bags under my eyes or something. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
dude.
But
So we just Luke sent Luke sent out a not sent out, but Luke mentioned a job. I just found out today Zach's got a new job. Fellas, we're working men now.
yeah, I'm actually working for a real estate investor, so I'm kind of doing like a mentorship
Ooh.
into getting into real estate and buying properties, stuff like that. Just kind of learning the ins and outs of just the industry and the business. And like it's actually really nice because it kind of sucks for my boss because he's like going through like a pretty rough patch, but it's good for me because I get to see like the negative sides of what I'm going to be getting myself into and stuff like that. So, and he does like a lot of things like where you don't necessarily have to do them. Like you can contract other people to do like all like the work that needs to be done to your properties and stuff, but he does a lot of the work himself just to have more cash flow on his end. But I honestly would not do that because like I'm not big into doing all the renovations and all that stuff. So I mean, if I have to take a profit loss like on that, like if I was ever to get into this, I would 100% do that. Rather save myself the pain and not have to do that.
Are you able to get into a little bit of a details what you mean by going through a rough patch?
He doesn't like really explain to me yet. He said he's going to explain next week. Cause like, so one of the guys I deployed with actually was his intern last year, and he's gonna be working with me this year, and gonna be doing the same internship this year. And yeah, and like we were talking about real estate investing, like when we were going overseas, and that's when he like really mentioned like, oh, I worked for this guy. I was just like, oh yeah, you should definitely hook me up, and he did. So that's how I kind of got into this. But yeah, he said he's gonna explain his like rough patch when like we're all together next week because the guys that I'm gonna be working with they don't finish up classes till the end of this week, so they're gonna be coming up next week. So yeah, and he said he'll explain his uh his hardship, but he just was mentioning he had to sell some properties, stuff like that, just to have some extra cash flow.
And then you'll be doing this all summer
How
until
long is
semester.
this?
Yeah.
Oh,
What's that?
like how long is this? Like how long is this? And is it like are you just testing the waters or is this something you're looking to get into like after you finish this?
Oh,
mentorship or
I'm definitely gonna get into it. Like, well, since he was like selling his properties, like I was honestly gonna try to buy one of them. But I was talking to him today. He said, yeah, he already sold them. I was just like, oh man, because like that'd be clutch. Like if I want to just get into it, might as well just go for it. And that like I already need, like I need a place. I just keep forgetting to turn my paperwork in for housing next semester. So I'm kind of like screwed on that end. But that's my bad. But whatever. But yeah, like if I was able to get a house right now and just start renting it out, might as well start now. There's no time like the fucking present to get it going. And that's the thing. Like we're always talking about just taking the step, and that's the risk I was willing to take. Like I got to learn eventually. So yeah, but yeah, this is gonna be just all summer long, just kind of learning from him the ins and outs of what I want to get myself into. So yeah,
Luke, are you able to combine VA loans?
combine VA loans.
So hypothetically, if you and I were to look for a property in the state college area to rent out to college student, not, I mean, we're getting into the nitty gritty. Just would we be able to combine our VA loan benefits together to purchase a property?
So what I would do was, well, since the VA loan for housing is 0% down, so you're not paying anything. Like it would just be like on one name. So it'd be just be better to for one person to get a loan, and then like say like we both got a property and we wanted to split it, we'll just split the mortgage. But like if
Okay.
we were paying it out, it would be just, well, I'd pay the mortgage off, and then like I would split the profit with you. You
Okay.
know,
All right. Okay. Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense.
I mean, I
That
don't
makes
know too
sense.
much about if we're able to combine VA loans. I doubt you are, but yeah.
Yeah, especially because we're not dependent. Anyway, okay, we're a little off topic, but it's all right. Well, damn, Luke, that's dope because I would like to say, I mean, when did we have that conversation about you wanting to do the real estate? This was like, I feel like this was almost 2 summers ago.
I don't know. We were talking about it like when I first
Remember,
came
we
home.
were in your truck driving. It was a summertime. I
Oh,
was
dude,
home.
I still have my truck. Yeah, so this is a while ago. This will be before.
Yeah, yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah. Before
it might have been
it
like
was
yeah
after
2 years ago
Miami.
because I wasn't here last summer. Yeah,
Yeah,
but yeah, like
damn,
I
that's
was
cool.
definitely thinking about it, but now like I'm really putting it into action, and I really think this is a good first step. Just like having that mentorship and learning all the things I need to know.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, you're looking at right now. You're looking at the quote bad part of it, in lack of better terms, and then also I think that's just as important, if not more important, to obviously see the good side of it, right? If he was just like rocking and rolling, then you would be like,
Mhm.
your expectation is going to be as realistic as it can be due to this timing of everything. But that's awesome, man. That's really cool. So you're done with the semester, right, Luke?
Yeah, I just finished up on Wednesday. Going
Hell
through
yeah.
the business with those projects. A lot of stuff going on. 15, what? Yeah, 2 15-page reports. Woo. Not
Atta
fun,
boy.
but I had some
you
good
made it.
friends surrounding me, so they definitely helped me out, and yeah, we got through it. Finished with good grades too, so we're all right.
Hell yeah. That a boy. That a boy. Z Dubs, Nike employee.
Yeah, my third week, I think. Probably this week is my third week. It's a little part-time gig, just something to do for the summer while I'm taking summer classes. So I didn't expect the turnaround to be this quick. So uh, yeah, I applied and I heard back super quick. So I got trained and everything. So then I was like, well, I can work a few days now because I'm still in my semester. So I've just been working probably like, I don't know, two, three times a week. And then I'm working like this week and then I'm going on a trip. And then May 30th is when I'm starting my like summer availability because then that's when my summer classes start. So just something to do when I don't have class. So the days I don't have class, I'll most likely be working and whatnot. So I just was looking for like a chill job that I was kind of like still wanted to be on my feet, but not going to work. And so far, it's exactly that. So it's been working out nicely. So
Yeah.
You said you're working at
so,
Nike.
yeah, it's like an outlet store in
Oh yeah.
just a Nike
Oh,
outlet store.
those are the
So
best.
Have you taken advantage of the discounts yet?
I
Just some
have
freebies?
actually when I got trained, they gave me a free $200 to spend in this like that day to buy gear to like wear to work. So um
What was your first
there's like
purchase there?
just like some pants. I got like these jogger pants, like training pants. They're so sick. And then just shorts
Mm.
and shirts. Um and then just generally there's a 30% employee discount that you can use.
Oh,
So uh and I'm for part time and I still get like all the benefits pretty much. So it's
benefit. They
so
pay
far
like
so
health
good.
insurance and shit.
No, like I mean like all the employee like the discounts and stuff. But I mean I do there is like a 401k thing I got sent, but I don't even know. I didn't really read it. I figured I only work here for the summer and then I don't know what's gonna happen after the summer, but yeah, just for the summer at least it's a decent job to stay busy. So
Yeah. Hell yeah, dude. Not to get too in the nitty gritty of that, but I would look a little bit into the 401k because they'll probably do with like a price match. And if the funds are right, you could put like they'll probably match up to like 5 or 10%. So even if it is for literally 3 months, that's like free money because they're matching what you put in, right? So if you would match, 10% of a whatever, $1,000 paycheck is $100. They're giving you $100. That's a free, let's say for 3 months, a free $300 from Nike. And then you can always like transfer that 401k as you work. Yeah. So I would just look into a little bit. Don't just be like, oh, I'm only gonna be here for a couple months anyway. Because you could easily like kind of turn that quick, if that makes sense. Not you could just benefit just from literally 2 or 3 months of price match.
yeah,
If that makes sense. So I just look into it. They might not, but if they sent you one, it's probably because they match a certain percentage up to a certain percentage. So it's just something to think about for sure.
yeah, yeah. But they
Yeah.
have good benefits for their employees. So even if part time, there's like the 20 free like mental health sessions a year or something through Lyra Health, and there was
Damn.
some other stuff like
That's sick.
employee assistance programs and just a lot of resources that they gave out. So um, even though I like, I mean, I like New Balance shoes, but now I'm a Nike. So got to say that.
Yeah. I'm sure the
Yeah, I like
human
can't wait. I
resources at
can't
Nike.
wear. I can't wear competitor stuff. Like they made it clear, like don't wear competitor stuff like to this training and like don't wear it to work. So got to wear
It's
like
real
Nike
shit.
head to toe. Yeah. So
That's funny.
oh well.
I mean, it makes sense. We none of us have ever been in a position where we're like, oh, we have to wear a certain brand. I mean,
Yeah.
I say that I literally
Wear
have
like
to
the
wear.
you still have to wear the Nike socks too. Like you can't even.
Now, if they're like, I don't have a brand on my socks, so they're just white socks, so that's fine. But if they were like Puma or something, you'd have to have them covered if you wore those.
That's
Like,
awesome.
but yeah,
That's awesome.
It's like the military. You can't even wear it. You can't have weapons.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, they have a stricter dress code than my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we're all, but yeah, my semester also just finished up. It doesn't really mean too much. I just have, some like around like 6 to 8 hours free on the weekends for a couple weeks and then summer classes start. But it feels good just to slowly, you get like that dopamine hit from looking at like your degree progression. And then you're like, oh, fuck yeah, only X more. And so as that number goes down, it definitely get a little that little dopamine hit to keep going. But yeah, trying to think what else is going on. Oh, so we had to do it tonight, fellas, because I'm leaving I have a trip for work. We're going to San Diego for some training for like 3 weeks. So
damn.
we had to get this in. Yeah. I don't know. I went last year. We do this shit at least like once or twice a year. So it's nothing new as far as that. But it just sucks because the weather's finally getting nice here. Obviously, it's going to be beautiful in San Diego, but with these trips, it's hit or miss, man. You either have, a ton of time to yourself to really enjoy the city, or it's like balls to the wall working every day to the point it's like I'd much rather be in rainy Washington sometimes, because the trips can be just a lot of work. But I'm just going in with an open mindset. But it's excited to see a different part of the world. I've been there. This will be the third time in that area for me so far. So it's it's cool though. It's cool. It's just crazy how different people are from like different. Even when I travel home, like the actual people, they act differently. They like talk differently. They look differently. Here, they act differently, talk differently, look differently. Down in Southern California, same thing. It's fucking weird, man. Like you don't realize people like throw that around as in like, you know, East Coast versus West Coast or this, Central East, whatever it may be, like the different type of personalities. But dude, that's real life. And I think because I get skewed by being in the military, I'm around like kind of the same group of people for the most part. And so I don't see it too much in my day to day. But then when I travel to like Seattle or travel, like in this case, Southern California, I see that those different types of people. And like it's like their culture, not for, not good or bad. It's just like the culture of this area of the country is real. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's just cool. It's just interesting though how people we're such social creatures. You know what I mean? Like we adapt to who we're surrounded by. We like to, for the most, like subconsciously, like to act like one another, and we'll kind of do the same things, start to like the same things, start to dislike the same things. It's crazy. It's crazy, but yeah. But how have you guys been taking care of each other? We went through just a really kind of hectic couple weeks. We'd say hectic, but basically our schedules just never matched up in the past couple weeks, So it wasn't that like one person was busy and the other person wasn't. It's just different time zones. End of the semester, it was really hard to find that space. I put out a solo episode, so that was a little rough. That was a little rough
I
to
was
get
fire
through.
though. It's fire.
But yeah, so Luke, start with you. I mean, like, like I said, you've these past couple weeks haven't really talked to you just besides the group chat is being like, nope, can't record tonight, or like, yes, can tonight. When can you guys? So how have you been upstairs for the good and bad?
This week I really started getting back into where I want to be, where I wasn't at all. Like ever since like February when I first got sick, like everything just kind of it just like snowballed. Like once like I was just rolling down that hill, I was just like, oh man, and like mentally and physically and just like taking care of my health was just not my priority. But I'm trying to get back into it. I was finally just doing the small things right, like starting this week, and so that felt good. And yeah, like I was looking back at it, I was just like replacing like all my I forget how I was watching like an Andrew Huberman clip. It was you replace your dopamine fixes with all these other things that are not good dopamine releases.
Mm-hmm.
Me, Corbin, and Ian, we would be playing just like Call of Duty like at night. Like I just would be doing like my work and stuff. I was just like, so like there was that, and then the amount of time I spent on social media just because like I was just like, man, like I know I need to be doing other stuff and like, but I just need that dopamine release. So I was just like, it's just you're just pointlessly scrolling, and like next thing you know, you're just lost in it. But yeah, like I'm really trying to cut down on it now, and like I'm gonna have a new semester starting here in the summer. We just finished up with this super hectic semester and this super hectic week with finals and everything. I was like, I was so ready to just get a break, but our next summer classes start on Monday. I'm just like, man, I just need some time to sleep. And like I said, I didn't get any sleep last night, but and like I know I won't get much this weekend. Just like celebrating with all my friends, just they're graduating, stuff like that, and like I know it's just gonna be go 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 all weekend. But yeah, like I said, just one step at a time. Do one or two things right every day. Like starting Monday, well, earlier this week, I was just getting back outside and going for walks. It was just nice because the weather is getting nicer here. Just going outside, getting the sun. What do they say about like like getting the sun exposure in the morning, just kind of wake your body up, stuff like that. I was doing some cold shower, like not cold showers, but uh, at the end of the shower, just turn on the cold water just to get my body ready for the day. So just small things, just to just get back on the right track.
Yeah, you listen, we sit here and talk about the good and the bad of our lives and how we can try to make the good times, the bad times better and try to stay with those good times as much as possible. But what I found is like when we get in those just in those domino effect times of our life, right, where it's kind of just bad habits after bad habits, it's like, man, this next day, let me just start with something hard. You know what I mean? Let me like voluntarily do something hard, whether that is waking up and not doing anything but go for a walk. People are like, that's not hard. But the easier thing to do is to just roll over, go on your phone, and for the first 30 minutes of your day, just mindlessly scroll to get your mind. All you're doing is just getting your mind off of the things, off of your responsibilities for the day.
Mhm.
And I think when you do something voluntarily for yourself, we'll say, like go for a walk, you're just setting yourself up for that mindset of the day of being like, okay, um, what am I trying to say? Like I'm going to start my day off by doing something that's beneficial for me. And then I know that will kind of domino effect in a good way. Right. So then, all right, next I'm going to do something for me. I'm going to have a healthy breakfast. All right, boom. Now I'm going to do something for me. I'm going to have 2 hours of solid hard work of like school or work, whatever it may be. And then, all right, I'm going to now do work. All these things just domino infecting in the good way of doing stuff for you. And consequently, when you do stuff for you, you're taking care of your responsibilities that yourself has. Do you know what I mean? But listen, with that being said, we've all been right in your shoes, Luke. You know what I mean? Where it's like, and I don't mean to like, I'm not trying to talk bad, but that it's so easy nowadays. You know, we always say that it's so easy nowadays just distract yourself for a full day. Literally a full day, we could distract ourselves so easily, so easily. And to where it makes like, you know, I don't want to toot our own horns, but just being even mindful of that is so rare. Being mindful of being distracted, right, is like the first step that a lot of people may never get to. You know, just this is just how they live their life. It's just mindlessly going through their phone or mindlessly playing video games or, you know, and like doing a tiny bit of work. It's the hardest thing because they're just so used to being a mindless human being. That sounds so harsh, but you know what I'm talking about. We've all been, you know, whether it's a 30 minutes, an hour, days, you know, where we're just, wow, I literally haven't done anything for myself, whether that's take care of my work, my school, my health. And all those in my mind kind of all go dwindling together, right? Taking your health, more than likely, you're going to feel like taking care of your job and things like that. So it's awesome though, to just be real with yourself, Luke. Because it's so easy to come on here and just be like, yeah, man, I'm good. You know, semester went well, but you're like, fuck no, man. I'm gonna look myself in this Zoom camera. I'm gonna look at you guys, look at our 7 viewers and be like, hey, I have not been, I just haven't, you know, been doing what I know I should be doing. But at least you know what I mean? At least you know what keeps you back and gets you into those green lights. And yeah, man. Zach, got anything?
Yeah. I think how you start your day is very important, and you hit on a lot of crucial parts with all that. I think honestly, like for you, Luke, you're probably just going through like especially when you got sick. That was like I guess close to the middle of the semester. I'm not sure, but then it's just probably just added additional stress, and then you have schoolwork and everything else on top of that. So it's just a lot of stuff to handle. Sure, it's just hard to like do those little things as consistently as you would like to. So, but at least now you're getting back on track. That's the positive to take away from it, and you're done with the semester. So, good shit.
Yeah, man, Luke,
Okay.
we love you. We're proud of you, man. You even if you're
I think I'm gonna go pass away now. I feel like you guys just put me in my fucking tombstone. Jeez, I'm not dying here. I'm all right.
but no, I mean, but it's like
No,
but we know, but we almost, you know, trying to like take care of yourself and living life to the fullest. But when you do that, and then you know what that feels like, if it feels good, it's motivating, it just, like I said, just intrinsically feels good, and the other people around you can feel it. The people that you care about can feel it as well. When you're on the other side of that coin, it's worse because what's the good part of it. You know what I mean? Like, how it feels to get a good night's rest, have good social connections, like take care of what you need to take care of. We know how good that feels, that when life happens, like every single one of us, and we kind of maybe have a couple days, weeks, months in a row where we're not on that track, it's so easy for us to beat ourselves up even more because, like I said, we know, like, man, we're better than this, So a lot of people don't even know that they're better than that, right? That's just like their reality. They're surrounded by people who live that life, so they think like, hey, this is, they're not even aware of it, right? But they're just subconsciously going through life, and man, that's it's important that you're right here having this conversation,
Dude,
and
it really is like that. Like when you actually get back in like the groove of stuff, and you're just like, man, like why did I get off this track? And like it just feels like you're losing progress and stuff. Like it that really does take a toll on yourself too. Like just like you said, just beating yourself up. Like I was really beating myself up. Like when I was getting back into just doing all these simple things that I wasn't doing that take 20, 30 an hour out of your day. Just it is tough, but yeah, I'm trying not to beat myself up about it. Like as long as I can get back on the right track, we're making progress. Like you said, well, like we always say, 1% better every day.
yeah, and yeah, like I said, I mean, I think the next step in this whole thing for all of us is just to forgive ourselves for the times that we aren't the best, you know what I mean? Or not the best, but where maybe we messed up. I think it's so hard to do that, but looking at yourself in the mirror and just forgiving yourself for, hey, listen, I let life get the best of me. Um, I wasn't proud of who I was. I wasn't the person that I know I can be, and that I know I love, and therefore other people that I love, um, I wasn't a person for them. I wasn't the person that they needed or they wanted. So that's the hardest conversation in the world to have, right? It's the hardest conversation because we forgive our friends and our loved ones so easily, Luke. Like, you know what I mean? Is that like if you guys were to come to me and be, hey, listen, I've been a fucking shitty friend for months, man. I'm sorry. I've been out of it. I literally would be like, dude, I love you. Literally, I forgot about it already. I'm proud of it. But when we have that conversation with ourselves, we just destroy ourselves. We never, it's so hard to forgive ourselves. And I think I know we've said this before, but if we can just consistently get to a point where we're talking to ourselves, like I would talk to you, Zach, if you were to come with me with, and just vent to me about some hard times you've been having or some bad decisions you've made. I think we get to that mindset where we can have a conversation with ourselves, the same one that I would have had with you, Zach, if you came to me. Man, that's so powerful. Um, but with all that being said, it's also not, you got to tell yourself to get through the hard times, like you have to be sometimes that all like that tough, like high school football coach, right? Mentality of like, hey man, get up. We might not feel like doing it today, but let's fucking do it, but also there's that voice, and that voice can also transition to a time where, hey man, it's okay. It's okay if you've been fucking up a lot. It's okay, but let's get up and let's take one step forward. And Luke, I hope that hearing this is making you realize you have that voice well, instead of just destroying yourself and being like, fuck it, man. Like it's like, no, man, Saturday, let's start the day off with a walk and just forgive yourself. And you're the person who you are right now. You aren't the person past. You won't be the person in the future. You are who you are right now.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Tomorrow's gonna start tonight. Tonight, just getting some rest, like just getting some quality sleep, and then just being able to get up and get after tomorrow, just to get back on the right track. But yeah, dude, definitely. Uh, just remember to be a friend to yourself sometimes too, like because
per-
sometimes some days like the voice in my head, I don't even like if that was me, like as like myself as a person, you guys wouldn't be friends with my thought, like that person that's in my
Yeah.
head. Like, I mean, I'm sure you guys can say the same thing. Like, that person in your head is, it can be an asshole, it can be lazy,
Yeah.
but sometimes you have to make that voice in your head your friend.
Yeah. On the extreme part of that, and I think anyway, I'm reading David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me book. I mean this guy, it's all about the voice in your head, right? And
Mhm.
listen, I think he gets a bad rap, rightfully so. I think he whatever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. But the idea is this: like, if you listen to that voice enough, you're not even going to hear it, right? So what I'm trying to get at is, if you get to a point where you're just constantly doing what you feel like doing, right, the easy path, quote unquote, day in and day out, you're never even going to hear this other voice of telling you, hey man, this is what you're supposed to be doing right now. Luke, that voice is, you can still hear that voice, obviously, right? Like that voice of telling you, hey man, I know what I need to do. Unfortunately, some people get to the point in their lives where that voice is just completely quiet, and the only thing they're listening to is this other voice that's just letting them guide through life, and just like not even living it one day at a time, just coasting through and just doing whatever feels right, and not giving any effort or energy towards any aspect of their lives. And the point of that book is like David was in that point like twice. You know what I mean? He lost a bunch of weight for the military one time because he was super fat, and then gained it all back, and then had to lose a bunch more. So listen, that book is absolutely inspirational. I don't think, and it's absolutely moving, because it's not a self-help book. It's a book about someone's life and living this life to the extreme, physically and mentally. And so far what I've taken away from is that voice in your head, which is, your conscience, that can control your body to he does some extreme things physically, just due to him, that voice being so damn powerful. You know what I mean? He's like trained that voice. He's trained his mind to literally just basically not listen to his body. Like, that's the point of that's literally it, simply put it. Now, for someone who's trying to start a workout, I think you should need to stop listening to that voice, and you need to just go. But, for I don't even want to get into like the other portion of it, but it's like, listen, if you're sore or injured, you should definitely listen to your body, but that's neither here nor there, because 99% of Americans, they don't need to worry about overtraining. And that's his thing, right? He's talking to the masses of Americans on Instagram and social media, and who read his book. A million of those, so many of those people can benefit from not listening to that voice, or not letting their mind take over their body. You know what I mean? So I think that's the point of it. Not people who take care and who have lifted for decades to stop listening to their body anymore and should just go run 100 miles with no training. Like, obviously that's not healthy, but the voice in your mind is fucking powerful, and that's the point of it. For the good or for the bad, it's fucking powerful.
He's cut from a different cloth. He's crazy. But like you said, I think and what Luke said, like the voice in your head, I think is, and for ourselves, like it's easy to beat ourselves up and be negative all the time, especially when things aren't going our way. And I think having those conversations with yourself and with like what we're doing right here, it's a step forward to kind of acknowledging it and being aware of it, and maybe what you can do to kind of get back on track and get back on the right foot, and um, get some inspiration from each of us, or whether it's reading a book or other people that you come across in life. Because um, as you go through life, you realize when you get more responsibilities and you have more things on your plate, the shit just gets harder to deal with sometimes, and it gets harder to deal with life, and it gets harder to take care of yourself because you have other things that are taking up your time. So trying to remember to, you know, take some time for yourself, go take that walk, or go do that workout, eat the healthy meal, or whatever it may be for you. And the small things do add up, and it can make a big, larger improvement. And I think sometimes I myself get away from that and I think that's just a part of the human experience. Sometimes we get caught up in life, and I think that's kind of normal, but it is what it is sometimes.
Yeah, not kind of normal. It's absolutely normal. You know what I mean? Like it's we're we're coming from a place of a mistaked, imperfect human being. You know what I mean? And what that comes is lessons learned. And what we're trying to say is we've all learned the lesson of when we take care of ourselves, life seems to we kind of just seem to get the right role. You know what I mean? We kind of get the right bounce. But even with all of that being said, life still fucking beats you down. You know what I mean? Like even when we feel like, man, okay, this feels good, man. I'm on the right track. You know, I'm getting these bounces. I'm hitting a bunch of green lights, as Matthew kind of get to says. Even with all of that, you know, life hits you, and that's when you get to see who you're really made of. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is why I'm like so passionate about exercise and taking care of your body, because I think that you voluntarily putting yourself through suffering, you know, not to be too an intense term, but suffering, you're able to handle what life throws at you better. You know what I mean? Because you're like, you know, in lack of better terms, you're
You're
going
like
into
training
battle.
yourself. You're training yourself to be like resilient.
It's exactly, that's the best way to put it. And I don't even know, and I'm sure that there is some physiological benefits to that, as in like putting your body through a healthy amount of stress voluntarily, and then when involuntary stress comes on, your body's just physiologically able to handle that more. That aside, I'm sure there is some science that backs behind that. I'm sure you can check out an Andrew Huberman podcast that explains that to a T. But it's just the mental callous part of it, right? Where it's like, I'm gonna go do this hard shit today. And then when life says, hey, here's some hard shit later in your day, for some reason you just feel like you're able to handle that more. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I've been through a hard workout already today. I can take this the exam or this group project or this this extra responsibility at work. And with all, yeah, and I just think that's why, I mean, that's one of the main reasons why I'm so damn passionate, and we all are, and we all love working out, we all feel so damn good when we do it. It's not even the physiological benefits, like those results happen so slowly over time that it's like, if you get caught up in that, you're never gonna keep going to the gym or keep running or doing whatever, because it just takes so long to see actual progress physically. The real progress that happens right away is a damn good feeling that, one, you're putting yourself first for a moment of your day, right? Whether that's 30 minutes, an hour and a half, you're putting yourself first, right? You're like, hey, I'm taking care of Tom Randazzo today, or whatever it may be. And with that also comes a part of being like, I'm gonna be able to handle life today. And sometimes you can't, you know what I mean? But the majority of times you'll be able to mentally, physically be able to handle what the hell life throws at you. Because you threw around some iron, or you ran, 2, 3, 4, 5 miles, or you did a CrossFit workout, or whatever it may be. You did hot yoga, yeah. So
How is the hot yoga going?
good. I did a 60 minutes today, because on the weekdays they only have 60-minute classes, and the weekends they have 90-minute classes. It's good, man. I suck. But it's I David says this in his book. He's like, he says like, fuck. He's very, very vulgar with his language, but he's like, fuck doubling down on what you're good at. Start doing things. This is more the physical realm, the fitness realm. He goes, start doing things you're not good at. Like that is what true. And like I say, he's just a big mind guy. So like in his mind, no pun intended, that's more beneficial for you to go out and do something that you're not good at, right? Or that's harder for you. And I explained this in podcasts before, but like, in all of us, lifting weights, and for me now, running is very comfortable for me. I know how to get better at running. I've ran a ton of miles. I've lifted a bunch of weights. I've never put time into a fucking hot yoga studio and did like held stretches. You know what I mean? Like I've never done that, and it's uncomfortable and it sucks. But the feeling, I mean, let alone from the physiological benefits, the mental feeling you get when you're done, it's fucking hot as shit, and you're just drenched, like you sweat like you've never sweat before. It feels damn good. So yeah, it's going good. It feels good.
I don't
I'm
know
gonna
the
miss
last
it.
time we recorded, but I did a yoga class. I don't know if talked about it on the
You did
podcast.
not. You did not. Let's hear about it.
Dude, it was so like it was really easy. It was just a beginner class, but it was
Mhm.
free like through my school. So I tried it out. But I was expecting it. I wanted it to be a little bit more of a workout because it was like I'm pretty flexible already and stuff, and I was able to do most of the movements. But it was like I said, a beginner
Mm.
yoga because I didn't know what to expect. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they only offer certain ones like a couple times a week that are free, and I'm not about to pay through my school to do something like that. But there was
Yeah.
other ones like with specific names, but I just did the basic one. But I mean, it was still relaxing and whatnot to do stretches. Like I think it was at 9 or 10 in the morning, so it was a good start to the day. And I felt good, but it was like pretty easy for me. So
Okay.
I wanted, I guess I wanted it to be harder in that sense, but
Yeah. I mean, us us guys being like, athletes, being in the weight room for like, almost a decade now. Like I'm not the most flexible person. It's just having that balance in your fitness is crucial. But like I said, I've definitely behind the eight ball a little bit because of just the years of doing heavy resistance training that my body's definitely stiff. But um yeah, I mean, I'm glad I'm doing it now at 23 instead of realizing at 41. You know what I mean? That's a tough turnaround. But anyway, it's all good. It just sucks, and I'm not good at it. So
Do you
every
touch
time I get what's that?
do you touch your toes yet?
No. No.
Never have, never will. Are you gonna
I
try?
listen, I'm gonna get there. I'm gonna get there. It's so funny. The instructor, there's a ton of different instructors. I can't keep track of all of them, but uh they're just always like commenting on my form because I think they see there's like older people there who obviously like there's some older studs in there, you know what I mean, that fucking kill it. And you're like, how the hell is this, you know, I know I talk about like, 6-year-old small petite women just absolutely dominating, but there's also some inexperienced people, older people that they'll help. But they won't really like push in a sense because this person's like, they don't really work out or anything like that. And then they see like, obviously I've worked out. So they just like, hey, fix all this. Like it feels good to be like demanding and be like, hey, like you're not doing this right. You know what I mean? And it's like, oh shit, I know I suck at this. I'm sorry. But no, it's good, man. It's good. When you guys come up, we'll do a class.
Dude, I've been wanting to
yeah.
do hot yoga. Dude,
We'll
even
do
like
it.
Zach, like when you say like just like a basic like yoga, like I've done that. I still get like a good sweat going. Just like holding those poses, it's not easy. I mean, necessarily I can do them, but like it's not easy.
Fellas, when I first time I walked in that, I'm not gonna compare, but first time I walked in that hot yoga studio, I was like, whoa, this thing is fucking hot. And it's like, and I was like, wait, I have to do a 90-minute hard workout in this thing. And you're just at towards the point, you're not even thinking about the heat. You're just thinking about the stretches. And next thing you know, you're fucking just your towel's just drenched. And you're like, Jesus Christ. That's cool. We'll definitely go when you guys come up for sure. We'll do that one day.
Get it.
That'll be dope. Zach, with this job, you still scheduled off the Seattle trip, right?
Yeah, I already put that in pretty
Okay.
much. We know, yeah, actually I don't think I did, but um
Oh,
like I didn't put it in the scheduling app, but I like wrote down like I'm not available then because I'm going home because I
okay.
am gonna be home after Seattle.
Yeah.
So it should be good.
Okay. All right. Good. Good.
Yeah, I'm honestly just glad we're back on this. I just saw some stats like 80% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3, and then 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 22.
Okay.
So, or something like that. So I mean, just want to put that out there. But so I mean, we're probably within that 87 percentile right now, I'd say. So that's the
Yeah.
stat of the day.
Yeah. Well, it's just gonna be hard once we get 22 out. We'll just be like, listen, we've made it 90% of it. But no, listen, I mean, we sound like a broken record. I just love coming on here and just checking in with each other. It's important, man. I get it's like Cinco de Mayo, not obviously, but Cinco de Mayo tonight. So I was like, oh, I like my buddies were like, hey, you want to come out tonight? And I was like, I I miss talking to my boys. Like I wanted to have a real conversation, you know, go out and like stimulation, social connection, all this stuff. Yeah, that's fun and dandy, but at the end of the day, this feels so good doing this with you guys. You know what I mean? That I'm not trying to, toot my horn and be like, hey, I chose you guys over fucking going out for Cinco de Mayo. But literally, I was like, I wanted to see how they're doing, and I know I'm gonna feel better after this, and just I'm gonna get some things off my chest. I'm gonna hear what they have to say. Try to just help each other out through this journey, and that's like, and so yeah, it's just another testament of how important this is for my life. And I know Luke and Zach can definitely say the same. What are we? Is there anything you guys got coming up that you're looking forward to in the near future?
I'm going to my girlfriend's hometown the 20th for a week.
Have you met her
So,
parents?
yeah, I have. Somerville, South Carolina is where she lives, so we're going there. Then I have a Don Toliver concert July 1st, and then
Ooh.
Seattle. So that's what I got planned for the summer. Just trying to get through the semester still. I still have like one more kind of week-ish, kind of, but
When you met her parents, did you hug her mom?
no,
Shook her hand?
no.
What'd you do?
What'd you do?
I was sitting down it was at dinner. It was a little odd, but I shook her dad's hand, but her mom was with her gram, and her gram can't walk the best, so her mom was like kind of like
Okay.
behind her gram.
Okay,
so
so you're being a gentleman. You're being a gentleman.
Yeah, it's
Did
chill.
did you stand up?
Yeah, of course.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Atta boy. That's something. What do her parents do?
Her mom works in I think in a hospital right now, just like a couple of days a week, because they're like pretty close to retiring, I think. And her dad is like a florist, kind of like he puts the little stickers on the flowers. Like he's the company that works to put the things on the flowers. And I'm not sure how to explain it, but I don't know. And he's not a florist, but he deals a lot with flowers.
He's gonna be a busy time of the year. Mother's Day's coming up. So
Yeah, yeah.
he's grinding. Let's talk about moms, dude.
What about moms, Tom?
Is there I talked a little bit about on my solo episode, but like, do you guys feel guilty how like if you like treated your mom badly when you were like a scummy little teenager growing up?
No.
What am I trying to say? I guess like you were never like a jerk to your mom, Zach?
I mean, yeah, but that's part of just growing up, and everyone's a dickhead to their parents at least
Okay.
once.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, like, I just,
But
it's
like
just
but
crazy.
it's to the point where like it's the love that is there and the connection, it's just like unconditional. It's just like not gonna be broken by
Yes.
calling your mom like a name or like being rude. It just doesn't work. It goes both ways too.
Yeah. It's crazy. Yes, you're true. But I vividly remember this conversation I had with my mom. And I don't know if I was in the military yet, and I was like, oh, mom, I'm like so sorry. About like just all the times that I was a jerk of a teen. I mean, just we're all like jerks, or it'd be like talking to your mom bad or like ignoring her, whatever, countless times. And she was just like, just the angel of a mom, She was like, oh, I knew that it was just a part of growing up. I was like, oh shit.
Well, yeah, hormones.
But it's just
puberty.
crazy to yeah, I know. It's just crazy to have that patience though. I just hope I just pray one day I can have those patience with my teenage kids, you know?
Facts.
Crazy. But look, you don't have
I
any
think
No, I definitely like growing up like had its moments, but I'm definitely very grateful for my mother, my family.
are
But
you getting any Mother's Day's gifts? Any Mother's Day's gifts going around?
yeah, can't spoil the surprise though. Come on now.
Do you think she'll listen?
Probably not, but you never
All
know.
right. What are you getting her?
I don't want to say, man,
What are
because
you
you know,
talking about? She's not gonna listen.
dude. What do you mean? Maybe she's one of our 7 viewers. I don't know.
I'm
My dad asked me like, "How's the pod going?" And I was just like, "Going good." I mean,
we love it.
I don't know if he gave a listen, listen to our dumbasses, but
dude.
maybe.
I speaking of dads, I was talking to my father over Easter, and he was like, he commented about like he the context of it was we were just like, just bullshitting. And then he got into talking about, he goes, oh yeah, Zach and Luke. Like, well, I don't remember what he said, but I was like, how do you know Zach and Luke? And he's like, well, from the podcast. And I was like, oh shit. Yeah, I guess you like do know. I was like, how the fuck do you know like my two best friends growing up? But yeah, and it's just crazy. I was like, oh yeah, I guess we kind of we put a lot of our lives out because yeah, I mean, obviously only to like 20 people, but still it's like, oh yeah, I guess you do know a lot, like you learn a lot about someone when you're listening to them for like, an hour at a time. It was just weird, but yeah. Zach, you get anything for Reba?
Can we give a shout out to
Uh,
the graduate? Hold on, Marshall. My boy graduated the Penn State University in computer science today with
That a
a
boy.
8 something GPA, maybe 3.9. So shout out to him. Just want to give him a
Don't
shout
hurt
out.
him.
Well, just want to
How
give a shout
long?
out to the podcast. I don't know where the heck he's at.
Yeah, we'll get him on here. We'll ask some questions.
Sure.
Episodes turn sideways. Zach, what were we gonna say?
I didn't get her anything. I forgot to say they're coming up in late June for the weekend. So she's been asking me about all white shoes from Nike, but I'm not gonna buy her shoes without her seeing them and trying them on. So I'll probably just take her to Nike and take her out to eat and stuff. I didn't want to send something to the house because I'd rather just give it to her in person. So I'll see her in a few months. So, but I'll send a text or call her or whatnot too. So
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, listen, we're the same way. A text and a phone call is, I would argue, more valuable than some flowers or something. I know that sounds very basic to say, but I think it holds true. I'd much rather someone shoot me a text or give me a phone call and let them know that they're thinking about me and things like that, rather than like whatever $50 flowers or whatever it may be. So I think mothers say the same way. Yeah, I wanted to talk about how important it is to like we just keep checking it, but like just let your friends know that you're thinking about them. Is it any? I know we do this time and time again. We'll just send each other texts and just be like, hey man, I'm thinking about you, hoping you're doing well, like keep grinding, whatever, maybe whether it's like Snapchat or text message. Dude, is there anything that feels fucking better than getting a text from someone at whatever it may be, any time of the day, just throughout the week, and just them letting you know that they're thinking about you? Like seriously, it's like our boy Phil just texted me the other day, and it was whatever. It was like a Wednesday. It was like I don't know, like 4 or 5 p.m. my time, like just a random time throughout the week. But it was like, I told him, I was like, man, that was exactly what I needed. And he was like, oh, is everything good? And it was like, nothing was any bad. It's just like, what that made me realize was like, oh yeah, like, let me make sure my priorities are straight. You know what I mean? Like, let me make sure I'm thinking about the right things in life, not too caught up on, Wednesday at 4, getting out of work, whatever it may be, getting work. Like, listen, we have a short time on this earth. And I think our relationships with people are the most important thing ever. And we're in a time of our lives, or a time of society, where we can easily communicate with each other. And I think that's super fucking, we can use that to our advantage. You know, a lot of people talk shit about it. They say like, oh, kids nowadays don't know how to talk to one another. I would argue that there is some truth to that. I would argue it's also super beneficial and healthy for you to be able to quickly communicate with your loved ones, and use that to your advantage, and let them know that they're thinking about you, or ask them a quick question. And so, yeah, anyone who's listening, like, send your best friend, or send your whatever relationship, parents, family member, whatever, just challenge you one day this week, some random time throughout the week. Just, hey, I'm thinking about you. Hope everything's doing well, whatever it may be. And not only does it feel good for them, but it feels good for yourself. You know what I mean? It just feels good to take that time out for someone else and send a genuine text. I'm a big voice message guy. Sometimes sometimes it might be a little bit too much. Yeah. I don't get to that. But yeah, sometimes, it's just maybe I send it to people like I don't even know. I send a voice message like, oh, that's kind of weird, but I don't care. I'm a big voice message guy. I think it's way more intimate and personal. There's actual tone and context to my voice. Not context, but there's tone. There's energy. There's emotion to the voice. I think that's way more just impactful, and you can actually get what you're meaning. Actually get what you mean to say across way more easily and efficiently. So,
Dude, shout out to Phil. I shot him a text actually last week, and I was just like, "Yo, if you got time to FaceTime, let's do it." So we did, and it was good. And that was the one thing. Like, I was just like, "Dude, I apologize for just not being there. I guess just like not communicating as well." And he's like, "It's all right, man. It's a two-way street," and which is absolutely a real thing. And but yeah, like, there's no one to blame. It's just, but we didn't skip a beat though. Like, it was, we both understand that life gets busy, and but at least we were able to just talk to each other and just BS. And at the end of the day, we're both laughing and smiling, and it was just good to see that he's doing all right, and both just having a good time.
yeah, selfishly enough, having a friend in Texas, Phil's in Texas now, is a huge asset to have. I can't wait to. I told him, like, listen, dude, when the winter starts here, brother, I'm coming down. Like, I'm gonna use you. I'm gonna use your location. But he was.
Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, but he was like, dude, I literally got an extra bedroom. Like, I bought it. I mean, whatever. I'm renting out this place with 3 bedrooms. There's only 2 of us living here because me and my roommate like are gonna have guys over, or just gonna have friends over, and we want them to be comfortable and stuff in our guest bedroom. I'm like, oh, dude, that's so
sure.
fire. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. When I was calling him, he was like, I think it was right when it started to get. He's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, it was like a cool, like 55 degrees here. He's just laying out in the sun.
yeah, I was that like a little glitchy for you guys?
Oh, you were glitching on my screen, Tom
Okay.
was, but I didn't.
All right, my bad. Yeah, we'll make sure that I'll make sure that looks good. But yeah, no, I was same situation. I was walking, and I like a rain jacket on. It was just pouring, and he like had his shirt off, and he was in the yard. He's just like, yeah, it's us. It was like whatever, 7 p.m., like 63 degrees. Just, so I'm like, you motherfucker. But
Yeah, it's like he's like, it hasn't rained in like months here. I'm like, yeah.
yeah. No, it's awesome though. I'm pumped for him, and he's doing well, man. He's killing it, as he always is. And more importantly, he's a damn good human being.
Yeah,
Yeah,
shout
we
out
got
to
to.
Tom, man.
Yeah, I
Pretty
told
good.
him, and I said, listen, man, if we ever start having guests, man, I want you on. You know what I mean? Not that guests. There's be like, dude, I want you to come on and just shoot the shit with us, because I think he can add a lot of value to the conversation, just the way he looks at life and things like that. So, yeah, we'll definitely start getting our boys on. We'll do a good old in-person podcast. I'm already brainstorming how I'm gonna try to set up an in-person podcast. I have no idea how I'm gonna do it, but without having to spend like, a couple $100, but we'll see. We'll see.
We'll have to get the lights,
That'll
camera,
be
action
dope.
going. We'll do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah. I think
I'm
I just,
excited.
Yeah, no, we'll be on the we'll get a little casting couch and we'll all sit down and shoot the shit.
Not for real. I mean, you can even get like AI generators now, and you can just throw the clips on there, and like whoever's like talking, and it'll cut to them. It's really cool. I've been looking into it. That's what I want to do this summer too. Just start researching AI, dude. It's a very powerful tool.
It's the biggest threat to humanity, though.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's definitely dangerous. I mean, Elon Musk even came out and said like AI is going to take. Well, I don't even know if he said that, but he said it's definitely dangerous. But
Well, it's just we
hey,
just need to have
useful. Very useful.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get down this rabbit hole. We can probably wrap this up here soon. But this is going to sound super simple. We just need regulations on it. You know what I mean? Like we need laws in place for artificial intelligence and things like that. I don't know what that looks like. Obviously, I'm not a politician, or do I have any idea what? I know it's very naive of me to say, but I just think that's where we're headed. I think we need to start developing regulations for the use and the extent of the use of artificial intelligence in this country and in the world. But crazy shit. I like to not focus on that because it gives me anxiety. I just like to make sure I'm taking care of my P's and Q's. So, yeah. All right, fellas. I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It feels damn good, just like Zach said. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. We will be back shortly. Thank you guys for your patience throughout this process. And thank you for tuning in. Don't hesitate to comment to see if you want us to talk about some things, or just hit us up if you have our number. We're more than happy to start expressing some ideas on some different topics. And yeah, and just go from there. Anything to add, boys?
Good.
No, I agree with that.
All right. Oh yeah. Thanks, guys.